Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Annie Kapoor and Annie Christine, for including me in this great time, and not only for this, but for introducing us to IOC, to Asia Plateau. Many years ago, when I was just doing my undergraduate studies, I came here for the first time, and since then we have kept in touch with a few of the members, and I would like to say thank you to Asia Plateau and to everyone, those of you who have contributed to make a difference to not only Nagaland, to so many families, and to my family in particular. By virtue of the fact that I share the same birth date with Martin Luther King, I hope you forgive me if I borrow his theme this morning to say that I have a dream that one day, I have a dream for my people, for Nagaland, for the people of Northeast India. Martin Luther said, I have a dream. That was in the midst of a very passionate moment when he was fighting for equality, for justice, and for his people. And so this morning I borrowed this phrase to just put forward the yearning, the cry of a people who have lost their way. I have a dream for my people. Like every other people in the world, the Naga people who were born during my time and earlier had cherished the dream, a dream that one day we will also be a people. But with the passage of time and changing values, that dream that we had dreamt with our fathers seemed to be fading away. Today I look at myself and my generation of people and I ask, how can we revive, rebuild the dream that we have dreamt with our fathers? A dream that we have to leave behind for our children. When I look at my two children, I ask myself, what can I leave? What can I leave for them when I pass away? The day before I left for Asia Plateau, I had a very surprising visit from one of the former presidents of the Angami Public Organization. He had come to visit. My husband was away. So over a cup of tea, we sat for around, say, 15 to 20 minutes and discussed so many things. Naga politics, Naga society, the election that is looming before us. And these are the hot topics today. And I said to him, Aki, which means my brother-in-law, Naga society is in a mess, a big mess. Everything seems to be broken. Where can we start again? How do we start again? I said. He is a very simple man, very respected. He said, there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Every individual Naga has to think again and change. It has to come from the individual. We cannot change the government, we cannot change the people, the society. The person has to change. And it set me thinking. No shortcuts. As Aparna just said, I look after a small school in a village which has around 400 to 500 students. The year that I joined the school, took over, the first year I had one parent come and say, Madam, you know, I have made a mistake in the birth certificate of my child. There's a mistake, I want to correct it. So I said, okay, fine, we can correct it if there's a mistake. And so we corrected. And I didn't even think about that. If there's a mistake, we have to correct it. And then another came. And then another, you know. And then in the subsequent years, maybe 2, 3 years, I had quite a few parents coming and saying, "Madam, we made a mistake. Can I make a change?" So it set me thinking. I said, how can this be? It seems like a big joke. A mistake in the birth date, in the birth certificates. So I said, no. Now we are not going to make any changes. I think this is ridiculous, changing a birth date. So I said, see, if there's a genuine mistake, then we will change. Otherwise, no more changing of birth certificates. So in 2004, I said, I took over the school in 2000. Quite a few parents came to make the changes in the birth certificates. In 2004, I said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. In 2004, I called some of my senior teachers and we said, see, I think we need to start something. We need to add a value education, a subject, where we can teach our children to be honest, to be just, to be loving, to be kind. And so in 2004, we started with a new subject where the teachers were asked to not only use a textbook and ask questions and answers, but to discuss with the children and, to debate and to come up with projects where children can do some acts of kindness or to go around and find out what is happening around us. And I can say that in a few years' time, we had some amazing changes. Last year, in November, we had our 25th year jubilee of the school, and we had around 100 alumni turning up to celebrate with us, and quite a few of them said, you made a difference in our lives. And there was one young man who said, I have studied in the school for more than 10 years, and I'm very thankful to the school because I have learned a lot of life's values from the school. Yesterday when we had our inauguration down there, one of our trustees mentioned that education today is society tomorrow, and it touched me. What we teach today is what our society will be tomorrow. Maybe in the past we have made a few mistakes. Maybe our parents, maybe the society yesterday made a few mistakes, and thereby today we are what we are, but we can make a change. And it is today that the parents, the schools, the teachers, and all the older generation can make a change by teaching our children again. After a gap of 10 to 15 maybe years, I visited Shillong. I went to Shillong last year and I was so surprised to see the developments, especially the roads. And roads are a hot topic in Nagaland these days. Assam, and even my son who traveled to Arunachal Pradesh, he said, Mama, you should see the roads there. The roads in Nagaland are a mess. And sadly, it reflects the state of our mind today. And I believe that we can start to change, make a change, and we have to start now. When, that former APO president said, no shortcuts, I thought that's going to be very difficult. It's going to be an uphill task to walk up again, to, start something again from the beginning. But it's got to be done now, before it's too late. And I believe that the schools in Nagaland can start with that. This year we are going to have a subject called the Heritage Studies, where every child has to learn about their heritage, about our culture, our tradition, about Nagaland. And I hope that it will help our children to understand themselves better. I have just a few, in conclusion, just a few things that maybe the Northeast can work out a program where we can have some exchange programs. Maybe Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, and maybe, the few states, as Ani said, the 6 sisters, we can have exchange programs where our children can exchange ideas, we can exchange thoughts, we can tell our own stories to each other, and to build a bridge of understanding in between the Northeast states, and thereby celebrate our differences. Thank you.